Try refreshing it now. Uh, Sorry about that, everybody. Looks like we're having some issues with Google Hangouts, but I'm back and let's get this going. So, Facebook ads training. Facebook is probably the most powerful platform on social media for getting eyes on your business, traffic to your website, and it takes some strategy and understanding in order to be able to create ads that are effective and are targeted. So I'm going to go over the Facebook ad strategy and then show you how to do some research and then show you how to use Power Editor. So your Facebook ad copy is important, just like the images and all the other components. For the ad copy, you want to ask a leading question right away, and this will qualify your audience and produce better results. You always want to be talking about the benefits of your product or service. And just like the image, you will want to try to keep the ad copy similar to your landing page. This helps to keep continuity when your audience visits your landing page. If you're not using a landing page, that doesn't really apply. You want to stay within 330 characters because that way the ad won't get cut off and you won't have to pay extra money for people to view the ad. The goal of the Facebook ad is to generate curiosity, which leads them to clicking the ad. Leave the selling to your landing page, or if you're using a phone call or a message, leave the selling to that. For the ad image, I highly recommend using canva.com to create your image, which should include a call to action and make sure the image is high quality. You can use the same or similar image to the image that you have on your landing page. Now, for the image, there is also stock photos that are available that don't come at any extra cost, and I can show you how to access those during the Power Editor training. Targeting for your Facebook ad is crucial to the success of your ad campaign. You need to get your ads in front of your target market, which will decrease your cost per conversion or cost per action as you narrow down who responds best to your ads. The process of determining targeting starts with going inside of Audience Insights to find Facebook pages/interests that you can target. You will want to find 10 to 20 pages/interests that you can target in order to narrow down which page/interest brings the best results with your ads. So Facebook is rolling out a new version layout for the backend. So your backend may look similar or different to the images, and just choose the right image, pardon me, the screenshot that most closely resembles your back office. So you can get to Audience Insights by following the images below. Click on the menu item that has 3 lines right next to the lowercase f. Under the menu item, Plan, click Audience Insights. So this is one version of what your back office may look like. Here's the other version of what your back office may look like. This is what mine looks like. However, I've seen it look different as Facebook is slowly rolling out their new layout. For this layout, you want to click under the Tools menu, and then a menu pops up, and click on Audience Insights. Start by entering in one keyword at a time that would describe your target market, or you can start by entering an influencers page. For example, if you are wanting to target people that are small business owners, you would type in small business. If you're wanting to target people that would be interested in a new diet pill, you would type in health or diet or weight loss. If you're wanting to target people that are real estate agents, you would type in realtor or real estate. Click page likes towards the top of the page and then scroll down to sort the pages by affinity. This will show you the pages that have the largest amount of your target market as part of the people who like their page. Write down 10 to 20 names, page names on the Facebook worksheet, and you're going to use them to build your first ad campaign. And now I will show you this. So we're going to start by going to your home screen, and I'm on Facebook. Now, for those of you that have not ran ads in the past, I'm going to include a walkthrough on how to set up a Facebook page as well as how to set up your ads account. For those of you that have ran an ad or two in the past, these options will be available to you right away. So either you're going to find how to access Ads Manager by going to Ads Manager over here, or by clicking on the triangle and then going to Manage Ads on the menu that pops up. You won't have that screen as you don't manage a bunch of different accounts. So you can see my layout is similar to the second image, and how I would access Audience Insights would be by going to Tools and then Audience Insights. You want to select everyone on Facebook, and then you can see on the left-hand side, I have it set to United States. You can change this to Canada, and then you can mess around here with the age, but the most important thing is to start with the interest. Now I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger here. Going to use GNC Store as one of the influencer pages to start my search here. So once you've typed in one of them, you're going to want to come up here to page likes. And then as I had mentioned, you're going to sort by affinity. So basically what sorting by affinity means is it's going to take the pages that have the largest audience and put those at the top so that it hopefully brings up similar pages to the one that we just searched up here. And then what I would do is I would open up each page and then look at the type of content they post, look at the description here, and then look at some of the people that have commented to see if they would all be part of the target market. Once I've worked my way down the list, I can come back up to the top here and X out of that and go to the next one. And then it's already sorted by affinity. So I'm all set there. I would go and again, right click on each one of these pages to check them out, see if they are indeed, they would include part of my target market, and continue to go through this list until I get 10 to 20 accounts that I find are really good. Are there any questions about using the Audience Insights tool? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so there's basically two ways to create an ad using Facebook. You can either use the Power Editor, which gives you a tremendous amount of flexibility. It's the easiest to use for creating multiple ads, and it saves you a lot of time. There's also the ability to go through the typical ads manager. However, it's very restrictive and doesn't allow you to do things quickly. And so I felt like it wasn't the best to demo for this presentation. So I'm going to be going over the Power Editor, and here we go. So you need to get into the Power Editor. Yes. Once you get the page names, I will be going over what to do with the page names once we demo the Power Editor, and it'll all make sense then. All right, so for the Power Editor, click on the left-hand bar on your home feed, or click the drop-down arrow on the right and then select Manage Ads. And this is basically how you get into Ads Manager, which I just has showed you. And here are the screenshots again of how to get back into Ads Manager. As I had mentioned, if this is the first time, you'll need to select create an ad. I will be posting a separate video inside of the replay that goes in detail on how to create your business page as well as your Facebook ads account. So once you get into Ads Manager, you're going to want to click Power Editor at the top of your screen. Now, you have to be in Google Chrome in order to access Power Editor. I've shown you two of the screenshots. Depending on the layout that has rolled out to you, it's going to look one of those two ways. Now, if Power Editor is not on the screen, then what you can do is click on the three bars up in the top left, which is on the second image, and then select Power Editor. So different parts of an ad can best be described through the example of a house. The campaign, this is the house that has many rooms and many paintings on the walls. It only functions as the structure in which all the moving parts are stored. The only thing that separates each campaign is the name and objective. Now the ad set. This is best explained as the rooms inside of the house. Every room serves a specific function and is different. At the ad set level, you will include different audiences, targeting, locations, ad spends, and demographic information. Now the ad can best be described as the paintings which hangs on the wall in a room. Each painting has different images, has different words, and has different meanings. The actual ad is what people who are on Facebook see, click on, and interact with. The campaign doesn't do much except make it easy to keep track of why you decided to run the ad. The ad set tells Facebook who to show the ad to, how long to show the ad for, and where to show the ad on. And finally, how much you're willing to pay per action. So for those of you that are visual learners like myself, here is an example that Facebook has created. I'll just go over it. The campaign, which is at the top, each campaign corresponds to a single advertising objective, like driving website traffic. And then the next in the blue is the ad set, and you can set a budget and a schedule for each of your ad sets and organize each set by audience segment, such as demographics. And then finally, the orange ones are the ads. Each ad set can feature multiple ads featuring different images, text, links, or video. You still define creative, targeting, and bidding for each of your ads. So that's basically the layout of how the Facebook ad process works. Maybe a little confusing, but as I demo it, it'll make a whole lot more sense. So inside of Facebook, there are a lot of different objectives. The objectives are defined at the campaign level. But in order to make this very simple, I'm only going to be talking about one in particular. And the objective is local awareness. Now I'm going to show you a demo of Power Editor. If you have questions while I'm demoing the Power Editor, feel free to let me know. All right, I'm going to start from going to facebook.com, or you can hit the home button at the top and it will get you to this screen. Again, you can either select Ads Manager on the left if you have it there, or you click the triangle and go to Manage Ads right there. I'm going to choose this one this time. This is the layout that I have access to, and you can see that Power Editor is right here. I am in Google Chrome, so it will work correctly. If your layout doesn't look like this, there would be a box up here that you would push, and then a menu would drop down and you would push Power Editor, and I covered that in the slides. So all you need to do to get into Power Editor is to click the Power Editor button, and then it opens up like this. Now, Power Editor can look very daunting. However, I promise you, if you follow the steps that I'm going to show you in the replay, you'll be able to create your first ad correctly, and you will not get lost. So let's get started. Whenever you want to create a new campaign, you have to first click on the tab here on the left and make sure it's at the campaign level. It can be at the ad set level or the ads level. Make sure that it's at the campaigns level. You'll know it's at the campaigns level because it will say up here, create campaign. The first thing you want to do is label the campaign. I use my business page name, and then I use the objective name, which is going to be a local awareness ad. This will help you better keep track of the ads when you look at them inside of Ads Manager. You can see this is the objective that I was talking about, and there's lots of them here. However, we're just going to cover lead generation. You want to check the choose an ad set, and then you want to create a new ad set name. Now, I just call the ad set, as we're going to change it later. And then you want to create, pardon me, this is local awareness. Create new, have it be ad set. Then you want to choose the page. In my instance, it's Tiptoe Terrariums. And then the name is ad. So as I just talked about, you can see the breakdown. Here's the campaign, here's an ad set, and here's the ad. Now, of course, we have to define the ad set and create the ad, but this is just setting up everything. So make sure that your objective here is local awareness, and you just do that by clicking on this menu, and you can select local awareness. Make sure that your page is selected, and then go ahead and hit create. You can see that this box slid open, and the only thing that you can do here is change the name. You can set a campaign spending limit. However, I don't recommend you doing that. Next, we are going to want to work on the ad set. So we click on the tab over here on the left. We were at the campaign level. Now we go to the ad set level. And you can see that the box to the right here did change to the ad set. It says ad set. It does say ad set and creating ad set. It also says create ad set. So we know we're at the ad set level. Now, if you accidentally have this window close, not a big deal. Just come up here to the top and then click edit. And it doesn't matter if you're at the ad set level or the ad level or the campaign level. if you lose the box, go ahead and just hit edit. So let's go and look at the ad set and define it. So the first thing that you see here is that you need to define the budget and the schedule. Now I recommend a budget of at least $2.50 a day. And then you can schedule the ad to be released in the future. And then you also can add an end date here. However, doing an end date is not necessary, as I'll show you how to turn off the ad later on. Now, we had talked about earlier going over the research, and this box right here is where you would include the different influencer pages or interests in order to include it in your targeting. However, first, let's talk about location. What you'll want to do if you want people to come in to your location is type in the address of your location first. I'm just going to type in do a Google search here for lawyer in Edmonton. So I got a location and I pasted it into this box, and then I'm going to hit search, and Facebook's going to go out and find it. Now, you can go as small as 1 mile, but as you can see, the potential reach is only 170,000 people. It's not that large. So what you can do is go out to 10 miles. You can see that the potential reach went up to 810,000, which is a lot larger. If this number here is not above 10,000 people after you get done putting in the influencer pages down here, then what you can do is take this and move out the slider further and further. The next thing that you want to define is the age. If you only serve a certain age group, then you would want to select it. For my example, we're just going to say 24 to 55, and we only want to target women who speak English. As you can see, just by doing those changes, the potential reach has gone down to 310,000 people. Next, I'm going to enter in the different influencer pages that I had written down. And as you can see, Facebook is going to give me suggestions as to who I should include. So I'll do some of those, as well as what I have written down here. Excellent. So you can see that I've gotten the potential reach to 10,000 people. Now, if I did all, then it would go up to 12,000, which is a good number to start with. Basically, if you have a really small potential reach, you're going to get charged a whole lot more money by Facebook. So you want to try and get that potential reach above 10,000, maybe 15,000, 20,000. All right, so then this placement, if you're running a local ad, you just want it on the mobile news feed because you want them to be able to take objectives such as calling your location or getting directions, which are only available on the mobile phone. Mobile devices, you can choose only when connected to Wi-Fi. However, I don't. And then for bid optimization, I always leave it on automatic. For advanced delivery, I don't touch that at all. So this is the first ad set that we've created. And what I do now is say, this is primarily GMO-free influencers. And then this name will help later when I'm going and looking at the results. So we were at the ad set level. Now let's go to the ads level. And how we get there is by clicking on the tab on the left. Again, if this screen had gotten closed somehow, all I'd have to do is hit edit ads in order to get it to pop back open. Now let's go through the ad and fill it out. So the first thing that you want to do is in this text field, write the text that you want to use in order to convince people to click on your ad. So this is just an example I came up with off the top of my head. Next, determine the click destination. Most of the time, you will want to send them to your page. However, if you've created a landing page, which is a separate page that has a capture form of some type to capture their email address and stuff, you will want to send them to your website. However, for this example, just send them to your page. And then for your headline, that's going to be on the bottom of the ad. And you can see as I'm making changes over here on the right, it's also making changes to update what it looks like. Next, you can decide if you want to use a video or an image. I'm going to use an image that I've created. Now you only can have one image per ad. However, I'll show you how to test multiple images in just a couple minutes. Now you can crop the image. However, I've made the image correctly, and the dimensions for this image is 1200 pixels by 628 pixels. And that will fit very nicely on Facebook, and you won't have to resize it or crop it. Next, you tell Facebook what kind of action you want them to take. So if you want people to call your location, what it'll do is use the function within the phone to allow people to call your location or get directions. You'd put in your street address, and then that would open up the map location. learn more, that would be useful if you're trying to send people to an external website, or you can have them send you a message. The last one is like page, but I don't recommend doing that because it's not a trackable action that leads to a return on your investment. The last part is tracking, and I don't touch this stuff. I just leave it alone. All right, so let's say you want to have 2 or 3 different images to test at the same time. What you would do is make sure that this ad is still selected, and what we're going to do is call this terrarium image 1. So you make sure that this is selected, and how you know it's the right one is you can scroll to the right and see things like this. It says campaign name is Tiptoe Terrarium's local awareness, and the ad set name is GMO free influencers. So I know that, yes, this is the correct ad, and it's under the local awareness objective. So again, you just hit edit, and then in order to duplicate it, you hit duplicate. You want to make sure that you keep it in the same campaign. And then just go ahead and rename it to add image 2. That way you can keep these 2 separate. Finally, you would change the image, and this is a great place to talk about the stock image option. So in the top right hand corner of the screen, you can see the stock images. Now, these images are free to use and don't cost you any extra money, as long as you use it for the Facebook ad. All you do is type in the keyword and then hit enter, and the images will come up. Now you can continue to scroll down and see all the different images that you can choose from. I'm going to choose this one. So now there are 2 different images that are going to be tested, but I want a 3rd image. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I have the correct ad selected, and then I look, yep, GMO, yep, that's right, that's right, that's right. Excellent. What I'm going to do is hit duplicate, and then keep same campaign, and then I'm going to rename it add image 3. Then I'm going to scroll down on the right hand side over here and change the image out to this image. Additionally, I can change the text here, or I can change the call to action. All right, so we've created the 3 images, the 3 ads here. Just want to make sure the call to action, we're just going to have it be call now for all 3 of these. So these 3 have been created correctly. Now we want to create another ad set to test additional demographic information. So what we're going to do is go to the ad sets level by clicking on the Ad Sets tab. And then we're going to look at the ad set selected. We're going to collapse the window, and then we're going to look at the campaign name, and yep, it's the correct campaign name. So then we hit edit again, and then we hit duplicate, and then keep the same campaign. And then you're going to rename it. And this time we're just going to do general interest targeting. And I'm going to use some general interest targeting. So rather than using these influencers, I'm going to use general interests like health and wellness, nutrition, see that this one really put my potential reach up really high. So with that, I'm going to say that's good. Additionally, I could change the location, bring it down tighter. I can also change the age range as well as if they're male or female without affecting this other one. Everything else looks good. So with that, I'm going to hit review changes and then continue, and it's going to upload all of these. And with that, your first ad will be correctly created. Oh. So it's saying that the international phone number, I'd have to use a phone number from Canada in order to get that to work because I used a Canadian address. Not a big deal. I can go in and fix that. So otherwise, it would have worked perfect and would have had no issues. Are there any questions on Power Editor? Nope, doesn't look like it. All right, so after you've created your Facebook campaign, ad set and ad, you're going to need to look at the results in order to determine if you are getting good results. So you want to make adjustments based on the performance of the ads in order to not spend too much money on Facebook and not get good results. So as I've been talking about this whole time, go to Ads Manager, and how you do this is type in facebook.com or hit the home button and then go to Ads Manager either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side under the Manage Ads. Here are several different items that you can check. The first is the cost per click, and that means how much does it cost for someone to click to your website. A healthy range for cost per click is 50 cents to $1.25. If you have a higher cost per click than $1.25, you'll need to change some things. Now, the types of ads that I showed you will have cost per action instead of cost per click. Cost per click is for anytime you're sending people away from Facebook to your website or landing page. So if your ad is set up to track actions done by people, such as calling, getting directions, or messaging your page, a good range would be $1 to $3 per action. And now I'm going to show you a quick demo on reviewing your results. So from the start, we're going to go to facebook.com and then Ads Manager. Now I'm going to go and look at a campaign that I'm already currently running for a client. Yes. So this is Ads Manager, and as we've visited before, Power Editor is up here, and then the Audience Insights is up here as well. We're not going to do that right now. Some things that you want to look at is to make sure that if you want to check a specific day for the progress on an ad, you click on this tab right here. And right now it's set at yesterday. I'm going to set it for today to look at the progress for today. Or if I want to see how the ads have done their entire lifetime, then I click on the lifetime. Also, you can look at the last 7 days, or you can do a specific time frame by clicking on the calendar and setting the start date and end date. I'm going to keep it at lifetime here. Now you can see the cost per click here. On the ads that you'll be running, you'll see the cost per action as the results, and it'll tell you how many people clicked on the engagement. So it would be something similar to this, like the post engagements. And then in order to further look at the results, you would click on this campaign name. So now we're going to the ad set level. See the ad set. For yours, you would have multiple ad sets, and then you'd be able to see the difference between the two ad sets. Now, if one of the ad sets is doing poorly, you would go to the slider here and shut it off. And when I say poorly, it means it's outside of the $1 to $3 per action. You can go one step further and look at the ad level. And here's the ad here. Now for you, if you're running multiple ads, you could see how each ad is stacking up against each other. And they will tell you things like how much each action costs on each different ad. When you find an ad that is performing poorly, you would go to the slider and switch it off. Additionally, when you're looking at your ads for review, you can click on these buttons at the top to look at the demographics to see which demographic is performing the best, and also the placement. Now yours won't be anything different. It'll show only on the mobile news feed, so the placement won't be of any help. But basically, this is just showing you the different information that you can gather after and while your ad is running to help you determine that, yeah, you know what, the 55 to 64 people, I'm getting a cheaper cost per click of 0.48 than I am for people in the age range of 45 to 54. And there's a whole lot more of them that are clicking on the ad. So next time I create an ad, I think that I'll target them, this 55 to 64, and see if I get a much better result. So those are the types of things, conclusions that you can draw by looking at the ads. Also, if you're running, let's see, multiple ad sets. So let's say, back to our example here, general interest targeting and GMO free influencers. So if we had each one of these ad sets and the images in both ad sets are doing well, then you know that that image would be something that you would want to use next time in order to get good results. The final slide on Facebook ads is troubleshooting. So things to change if your ad set is not getting good results. 1, the targeting. 2, the image. 3, the text. 4, the headline. 5, demographics. 6, location. And let's do a quick demo on that. All right, so you guys know how to get to Ads Manager by now. Go into Home and then clicking on Ads Manager. Then you go to Power Editor. All right, so let's say that the ads are not doing well. So how you would make the changes, see, we just got into Power Editor. If I wanted to change the targeting, what I would do is click on this check mark next to the ad set that we just created and hit edit. And then I can go through here and I can add more interests, or I can take interests out to try and find some better targeting for the ad set. I can also change the age range here, or change the radius at which it shows the ads. Now, if I wanted to change the image, text, headline, I would need to go to the Ads tab here on the left, and then go to the first one for the first ad. Now, again, how we know that it's the correct ad is we look at the ad set here and then the campaign name and make sure that it is correct. Then we would click the checkbox next to it and then hit edit. Here you can add additional text that you think will work. You can change the call to action if you think that will work better, or you can change the image. With Facebook ads, it's all about testing in order to find a good combination of what will work to get responses from your target market. There is no magic bullet or magic formula. It's all about testing and finding out what will work specifically for your target market. Any questions? All right, with the remainder of the time, I will be going over LinkedIn training. The first part of LinkedIn is polishing your profile in order to get it to look the most appealing to people that visit your profile. Then I will be talking about using a program called Sales Navigator, which is what I use to connect with my target market. And then finally, I'll show you how to send messages and how to do this all streamlined so you're not wasting time or trying to keep track of things after they happen. So polishing your profile, the first thing that you want to look at is a profile photo. Make sure that your profile picture is professional, inviting, and recent. Your image is one of the two most important items that people consider when they're accepting your invite. Make sure the image is of high quality and not blurry, grainy, or contain other people. Number two is the headline. You have 120 characters to clearly communicate who you are and what benefits you offer to those that come across your profile. Include keywords that people would use when searching for someone in your profession. Make sure to also describe your unique skill set or benefits to doing business with you. Number three, your experience. On your profile, you can include your current and past positions with lots of room to describe your role at each position. Include accomplishments, responsibilities, awards, or honors. Try to keep each description of your position to 130 to 100 to 240 words. Number four are recommendations. If you are connected with people that you have professionally associated with in the past or present, ask them for recommendations to include on your profile. You can even say that if you give me a recommendation, I'll give you a recommendation in order to sweeten the deal. Number five is your summary. This is the main body of text that people see when they visit your profile. Once you have become a connection with someone on LinkedIn, this will be the most important section to creating opportunities for them to contact you other than messaging them. For your summary, I like to create the summary that starts with an introduction of myself and my business. Next, I talk about the benefits that can be achieved by working with my business. I include a call to action along with my phone number and email address. You have a 2,000 word limit. Some great examples of profiles to check out would be Viveka Von Rosen and Mari Smith. Now, using Sales Navigator. The objective is Sales Navigator is a premium service that allows you to connect with your target market based on several filters. This is a premium service inside of LinkedIn and doesn't require any other additional software or subscriptions. Ways you can filter your target market. You can filter by industry, keyword, job title, location, company size, years at current position, seniority level, and job function. Before I show you how to use Sales Navigator, you first need to do one small step that will help you out tremendously later on. So here are the directions on how to write down the name of your most recent contact so that you know who to send messages to later on. This will save you so much headache. Go to linkedin.com and make sure that you're already logged in. Click on My Network and then click Connections on the menu that appears, as I've showed you with this screenshot here. Scroll down till you get to the section in the image. It takes about maybe 3 or 4 scrolls on the wheel to get to this. Not very far down on the page. Click on the drop-down menu and select Connections Only. Write down the name of the first person at the top. This person will be who you will look for when starting to send out messages to your new connections, which I'll go over that in a little bit. Now, the cost of Sales Navigator is $59 a month when you use this link. I will include this link in the replay so that you can click on it and activate your Sales Navigator account. So once you've activated your Sales Navigator account, you're going to want to click on Go to Sales Navigator. If this is the first time using Sales Navigator, they'll have several screens that you scroll through, which is just an introduction to the account and walks you around. Once you've gone through the introduction, then you'll be able to continue with this training. So at the top of the page, click Lead Builder. And a menu is going to pop up. And this is where you put in the demographic information, such as keywords, title, company size, and industry. Make sure to include the country or city that you want results from under location. When you're done, hit search. This is what it looks like when your results come back. You can further narrow down your search results by the option on the left part of the screen. One of those options that you can use to narrow down your search results is under relationship. And what you'll want to do is click on the boxes for second connections and third connections. This way, you're only going to see results to connect with people that you are not already connected with. And of course, how you access this is by scrolling down, and it is on the left side, just like the screenshot shows. So now you finally are able to connect with your target market. How you do this is by clicking on the triangle next to the words Save as Lead. You can see in the screenshot here that it's to the right of the name of the person. And then once you click on the triangle, you're going to want to click on the option called Connect, and it's going to bring up a new screen. And you want to fill out the invitation, and this is the message that I use that I've found to work rather well for myself and my clients. The message goes, you start with their first name and then comma, I'd like to include you in my network to share updates and stay in touch. Hope you have a great day, exclamation mark. And then I sign off with my name. So continue sending messages in the same fashion by going down the search results. Then go to the next page of search results when you reach the very bottom. I recommend sending out between 25 and 50 connections each day. When you're finished sending out connections, make sure that you write down the name, well, the full name, not just the last name, where you leave off so you can resume sending connection requests the next day. Also, make sure to write down the page number, which is found at the bottom of the screen. That way, you can go to, let's say, page 5 next time and find the name of the person you left off with, so you don't have to scroll through hundreds of pages to find the person. Now, there are 10 results on each page, so if you sent 50 connections, then the next day you would go to page 5, well, 6, in order to resume. Remember, what were the search criteria used to create your list, and continue using that same criteria each day to make sure you send to new people each time and you don't keep on sending to the same people over and over again. Here's an important note. Search results will only show you the first 1,000 profiles. In order to get through more profiles, I use different zip codes or areas to work my way through the search results of over 1,000 profiles. So basically, if you have a search result of, let's say, 30,000 people, and you want to send connection requests to all of them, you won't be able to just keep clicking to the next page. It's going to cut you off at page 100. So then what you would do is use different zip codes or seniority level if that's not something that you need to have this certain seniority level, or there's other things. All of them are on the left-hand side of the page. You would use those to be able to work through the list of 30,000 search results. And what that would do is bring up new search results each time, and you'll be able to get through the 30,000 without any issues. How would you find what zip codes to use? Well, I find the most populated zip codes through a Google search and then use an Excel spreadsheet to write down the zip codes that I've already used. I also use the spreadsheet to keep track of search criteria, such as what I've used, let's say a CEO at a company that has over 500 people in United States. That's the search criteria that I'm talking about. And then, of course, the name that I left off with, along with the page number. I put that all in the spreadsheet, and that way the next day I can go back to the spreadsheet and see where I left off, go and send my connection request, come back to the spreadsheet, update it, and have everything run very, very smoothly. So now that you've sent the connection request, you're going to want to send out messages to your new connections. Go to linkedin.com and make sure that you're logged in. Click on My Network and then click Connections on the menu that appears. Scroll down till you get to the section in the image, which is the same section that we looked at last time. However, it's going to be updated with new connections. You want to make sure that you're only looking at your connections by clicking on the drop-down menu and select Connections Only. Now you're going to scroll down the page, or continue scrolling down the page, to the person who you wrote down earlier in this training. You're going to find that name, and this way you know that you will be sending messages to your new connections only. So once you find the name of the person who you wrote down, go to the person above them. This is important. Go to the person above them and keep going to the people above them in order to send the messages to the newest people. If you keep going down, it won't work. You have to go up just for this part of sending messages. So once you found the name of the person that you wrote down, go to the person above them. Then you want to click the words message next to their image. And this is what the screenshot will look like when you click on message. Make sure to fill in the subject line and add your message to the correct fields. Before you hit send, copy the message so you can reuse it again. Finally, hit send message. The best responses that I have seen are from inviting people to jump on a discovery call or free analysis. Once you have sent your first message, go to the person above them and send them the same message as the last person. Of course, you want to change things, like if you sent the first one to John and the next one you send to Joe, you want to make sure that you use the name Joe and that you don't get those mixed up. But as I mentioned before, make sure for the sending messages part to keep going to the one above them. Continue doing this till you run out of new connections to send messages to. When you reach the last name, so you can send out, you have no one else to send messages to, make sure to write down that name so you know where to start next time. Again, put this on the spreadsheet, and the next day that you go to send out messages, you'll know exactly where you left off, and then just go ahead and follow this process again to finding that name, and then going one above them and start sending messages out. All right, so now at this point you should start receiving messages from your new connections. Well, receiving responses back from the messages that you sent out. Also, you should start receiving some messages from people that have checked out your profile and now they want to talk to you. So in order to access your messages, click the message icon at the top of your screen to access your messages. And you can see the, it's a message icon and it's in the red square there. So on this screen, sort your messages by unread to see all the messages you need to respond to. And you can see by clicking the all messages box, that will open up a menu and you select the unread button, and that will populate your message box with all the unread messages, and then you can respond to people accordingly. So here are some additional strategies that you can use. If you come across a profile that you really want to get in front of, the best tool to use is sending an InMail. Now, an InMail is a paid message that is part of the LinkedIn platform. So the InMail is not another outside third party anything. It's part of the LinkedIn platform, and it's what you use to really get someone's attention because they know that you paid for it either through a subscription or it was $5. So it goes into their inbox and it looks special and it really gets their attention. So with the Sales Navigator subscription that I already have talked about, you're able to send out 8 InMails each month without paying anything extra. If you send out additional InMails, it'll cost $5 per InMail. So how you would do this is, here's a screenshot of the search results within Sales Navigator, and instead of sending them a connection request, send them an InMail instead. As you can see, again, you would hit the triangle, the down triangle, which is to the right of their profile name, and that menu would pop up, and then you would hit send InMail, and then you would fill out the InMail with the proper subject line and message that you want to say to them, and then you would hit send. So another additional strategy is to try a different language, such as different ways of saying things, different offers, different things that you're promoting in your messages to new connections to see which one will do the best. You can switch between asking questions, putting statements, telling facts, putting the request for a discovery call in different places, towards the top, towards the bottom. Again, this is all testing. There's no magic bullet to really know what's going to work well unless you have done this in the past. My last thought that I want to leave you with is to offer value first to your new connections and build a relationship before trying to sell to them is the best strategy for LinkedIn. So by having them jump on a free analysis or discovery call, or even sending them to a blog post or putting the blog post in the message, giving them value will help to build trust, and then that will lead to them being more receptive to what you have to say. And that is the end of the LinkedIn section. Are there any questions on LinkedIn? Does not look like it. So as I had promised before, the recordings will be made available within 48 to 72 hours. I'll make sure to include the worksheets for you to download as well, and include the link that I had talked about, as well as the Facebook ads video that I had mentioned. If you guys have any questions, you should have my email address. It's Phil, Phil, at gostrategicmarketing.com. Feel free to shoot me an email with your questions, and I'd be more than happy to answer it as best as I can. It's been great having you guys, and I hope that you got a ton of value from this training and are able to implement the different strategies I had talked about and see success on social media. Thank you again, and have a great rest of your day.